Does your mental health suffer as a manager when you're living away from your family and you're in this high pressure environment for a long period of time?
I think mental health is obviously really topical at the moment, and rightly so. I think everybody goes through various stages of mental health, you know, but for me, I have such a desire, if you like, and an enjoyment in my coaching, such a love of the game, that it's worse not being involved. Do you know what I mean? So for me, the pressure is a privilege, actually, to manage a big club, to manage people. And I enjoy the daily interactions with the staff, the fans, and I don't know, I tend to buy in very quickly, if you like, to the history of the club and the people at the club.
A bit of time has passed now since you left Sunderland. How do you reflect on that period?
I loved it. I feel very privileged to have had the honour, if you like, of coaching what I see as an iconic club in the country. You know, absolutely fantastic football club with great people, fan base that is phenomenal. You know, they're churning out 34,000 in League One on a regular basis, and I think we in general terms done an excellent job. You know, there was a lot of successes in that period, and I wish them all the best, and I'm there rooting for them to get promotion this year.
Psychologically, how do you compute that? Because you left Sunderland when the team were in third place in the table. Is that difficult? The mindset when you leave that job, what are your emotions? Is there a bit of frustration? Do you get quite low when you reflect on it?
I think they're all in there. You know, you're human, and you have to heal, because effectively you've given everything, if you like, in that period of time. For whatever reason, a football club and a manager's relationship was almost like a marriage, and sometimes it breaks up. And on this occasion, genuinely, I can look myself in the mirror and say I've got very few regrets in terms of where the club was, where the club is now. I think it's in a really good space, a really good place, and like I say, I think primed for success.
Football management is all-consuming, isn't it? So I guess that contrast when you leave a football club and you've gone from sort of your headspace being in that to the other side of it, how do you cope with that?
It's not easy, you know. I'm used to managing, like, leading sort of 50, 60 people, and now I can't even manage the remote control in a household. And I think that you are on that sort of hamster wheel. You know, it's Saturday, Tuesday, you're churning out games, you're having to be elite as a coach, as a communicator, as a leader, and you don't actually realise the pace you're moving at until you step back and step away from it. I think that's the key trait really for managers, which is the hardest thing in the world to do, is actually to find that space, to be able to grow, to be able to reflect, to be able to look from 10,000 feet actually and what you've been doing well, but also have that life balance.
As a manager between jobs, do you have to find that purpose, that desire to find new skills, to improve, to engage your brain?
You do. I think the first thing is actually investing a little bit of emotional capital back in the family. You know, it's so all-consuming, the manager's job. I've got a daughter that's approaching 14 years old, and been away effectively for 15 months, you know, 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night, pushing it hard. So the first thing is getting that balance to make sure that the family have adequate time with you, I think, but also when it's in you, you can't stop that thirst for knowledge. You know what I mean? There'll be areas of your performance that you want to maybe reflect on, review, and focus in on.
Has it helped you, the fact that you were sort of brought up in that environment, your dad as a football manager?
I think so. You know, early on in our lives, certainly in my younger years, you know, sometimes it was that if Dad gets the sack today, how are we going to eat? You know what I mean? That's literally how it feels. And obviously during his days at Cambridge United, before that even at Newmarket Town. So I think you learn to sort of build up that resilience almost second hand. And now you're at the coalface effectively as a manager myself. I think you draw on your experiences, and your experiences shape you moving forward. And I do feel that it's in the blood. You know, a lot of the Johnson clan that are in football, and like it would almost be disrespectful to the family by not being in football.
Do you feel as though your best years are ahead of you now that you've sort of built up the knowledge that you have so far?
I think you're always learning. I think, you know, literally the minute you think you've seen it all in football, something changes. It's so diverse. It's a brilliant game, but obviously the industry is tricky to manage and tricky to negotiate.